Hey Grownups, do you want to set your Tailblazer up for success? IXL Learning is the perfect companion to your homeschool curriculum. It provides practice in math, English language arts, science, and social studies, meeting your child exactly where they are and empowering them to take charge of their own learning. One of my favorite things about IXL is how flexible and personalized it is. I love how organized and easy to use it is. Plus, the instant feedback and progress reports make it easy to see how much your child is learning and where they might need more help. Make an impact on your child's learning today with IXL. Girl Tales listeners can get an exclusive 20% off an IXL membership when you sign up at IXL.com/girltales. Visit IXL.com/girltales now to give your child the most effective learning program at the best price. That's IXL.com/girltales for 20% off. Happy learning!
Grownups, if there's a child in your life who is interested in, curious about, or fascinated by people and places from history, then my podcast, The Past and the Curious, might just be a hit in your home. From the invention of microscopes to world-traveling dogs to fashions of the 1890s, gold rush ghost towns, and audiences going wild for walking competitions, we've got a little bit of it all. Hosted by children's author and museum educator Mick Sullivan, that's me, the show is fun, funny, engaging, honest, and beloved by kids and parents alike. Find The Past and the Curious at all the usual podcast places.
Hey, Trailblazers! I'm Emmanuel.
And I'm Rebecca Cunningham.
And this is Girl Tales, a kids podcast of venomous stories for a new generation. Grownups, Girl Tales is brought to you by families like yours.
If you would like to hear your Tailblazer's name on an upcoming episode, or if they'd like to co-host an episode with me, just like Emmanuel is doing very well, I may add,
head to patreon.com/girltales and donate today. Now on to our episode.
This is the next part in our She is Fierce series, a Midwinter fairy dream. Enjoy! I'd like to tell you about a friend of mine. I wonder who that is.
Hello, Miss Rebecca. It's me, Ishbel Whistle.
Ishbel Bird-Whistle, plumber extraordinaire.
That's right. I've taught all me rules. I've brought all me tools. Oops. I must be away with the fairies today.
Well, I'll let you get to it before the fairies take me away, too.
Let's see. Ooh, crinkle clack dimples. Rebecca's left her recorder going. Well, if it's a recording, I might as well tell a story. Since I'm away with the fairies today, I'll tell a story my Nana told me about ice fairies, a reindeer, and a trickster named Puck. Long ago, in the faraway northern kingdom of Svalbard, deep in the Arctic Circle, where the land was snow-covered all year round, there lived a fairy queen. Her name was Titania, and she wore a crown made of icicles and a silver gown covered in snowflakes. It shimmered when she moved. She carried a silver wand and could even fly. Titania was about the size of a human's pinky finger, but don't let her size fool you. She was extremely powerful. She controlled the wind and the waves, and once even moved the stars around. She lived in a tiny castle made of ice that perched on the shore of a mountain stream. Titania wasn't alone in her castle. She had plenty of friends. Aspen, Colden, Era and Frost were her best fairy friends, and together they did magic and had famously good dance parties. Aspen, Colden, Era and Frost worked with Titania and helped her run the fairy kingdom. She reigned peacefully, helping all the animals and even the few humans who lived in her icy homeland. Queen Titania was beloved by almost all her people. There was one fairy in Svalbard who didn't get along with Titania. Puck was a trickster who pulled pranks on the humans, animals, and other fairies. They would shapeshift into a stool, and when a human went to sit, they'd disappear and the human would fall down. Puck ruined the fairies' snow castles and pulled the tails of Arctic hares. Any time there was mischief, you could be sure it was caused by Puck. Queen Titania went to speak to Puck after they stole the ice shoes of her fairy friend Aspen. Puck, come out of your snowy hole and speak to me.
Yes, oh great and powerful queen.
Puck knew better than to disobey the fairy queen. They had tricks and powers, but Titania was far more powerful. Puck, you must amend your ways, or I shall banish you from Svalbard. Do you understand?
Yes, your majesty.
And Titania left. Puck was angry that someone told them off.
The queen thinks she's powerful enough to banish me, huh? I'll show her.
So, they decided to trick Queen Titania. But how would they do it? Puck began to plan. They knew of a purple flower that only bloomed in midwinter. The flower had the power to make someone think that the first person, animal, or fairy they saw was a great ruler. Puck decided to get that flower and use its nectar to make Queen Titania think someone was king. But who? Or what? Just then, a herd of reindeer passed by Puck's snowy home. Puck knew exactly who to make Titania believe was king. In midwinter, Svalbard is dark for the whole entire day. The sun never comes up, and so it never goes down. The stars shine at noon, and the northern lights brighten the morning. Midwinter is a time when magic is very powerful. So Titania and her fairy attendants were making magic snowflakes and brewing up moon water under the stars. Puck was hunting for the purple flower, and when they found it on the side of a snowy mountain, they hurried back to Titania's ice castle. Puck found Titania resting on a bed of snow under a blanket of ice crystals that sparkled like diamonds. They waited for the dancing ice fairies, Aspen, Cold, Era, and Frost, to fall asleep one by one, and then they snuck over to Titania and sprinkled the flower's nectar on her eyes. Puck used the spell to weave the enchantment.
What you see when you wake, for your king you will take. Even an old reindeer, in your eye he shall appear, fit to rein, lead, and steer.
Puck darted away and came back soon enough, dangling a carrot behind them. Following the carrot and the trickster fairy was a sweet old reindeer named Bottom. I know that's a silly name, but it's a very old reindeer name that was passed down in his family for generations, so try not to laugh. Bottom was looking forward to eating the carrot Puck was holding, but before he knew it, Puck and the carrot disappeared, leaving Bottom standing over the Queen of the Fairies, asleep on her snowy bed.
Humph,
Bottom said.
I wonder if she has got any carrots.
The reindeer's voice woke Titania up, and she immediately thought Bottom was the king of Svalbard. Oh, most wonderful king!
Hello, tiny madam. How are you today?
I'm in awe of your brilliant leadership.
That's nice.
Puck watched from a nearby tree, cackling quietly. Soon the other fairies woke up and saw a huge reindeer standing over their castle, and Queen Titania was fitting him for a kingly robe and crown.
What the what?
Aspen, Colden, Era, Frost.
Yes, Your Majesty.
This reindeer is a great king. Please treat him as such.
Okay.
Aspen, Colden, Era, and Frost obeyed Queen Titania. They brought Bottom the reindeer his favourite food, carrots, and they made him a bed of willow and birch shoots covered in moss. Bottom was enjoying being treated like the king of Svalbard.
Delicious carrots. I could get used to this.
My fairies will get you anything you want, my king, Puck watched all the proceedings and laughed. Queen Titania was treating a reindeer, who had no magic at all, like a fairy king. And she was having her friends wait on him, which was making all the other fairies annoyed. She was ignoring her queenly duties and the important magic that needed to be done in Midwinter, just to fawn all over this old reindeer. Puck rolled around in the snow and laughed. They had really done a good prank. The Fairy Queen's best friend Aspen was hunting for more carrots for Bottom when she came across Puck, rolling and laughing. Instantly, she realized what had happened.
"You bad fairy!"
Aspen said. Puck grinned.
"What are you gonna do about it?"
Aspen whistled. Colden, Aera, and Frost appeared at her side.
"We're gonna bind you with magic, Puck."
The fairies lifted their wands together. Puck tried to run, but they weren't fast enough. The fairies used the magic of Midwinter to wrap Puck in a snowflake string. They carried them to the Queen, who was putting a crown on Bottom. Aspen, Colden, Aera, and Frost took the purple flower from Puck and used the moon water to create an antidote. They told Queen Titania what had happened, but she didn't believe that Bottom wasn't really a great king. "This reindeer is the most wonderful ruler I've ever met. I am sure he's the king." What were the fairies to do? They knew they should free Queen Titania from the spell, but she didn't seem to want the spell to be broken. Luckily, Bottom spoke up.
My dear Queen, I think your fairy friends have your kingdom's best interests in mind. Maybe you should do what they suggest.
"If you say so, great King Bottom." And so, Titania let the fairies pour the antidote on her eyelids. They spoke the spell that broke the enchantment.
Be just as you used to be. See just as you used to see. Antidote, use your power to break the spell of the flower.
And Queen Titania's eyes flashed. The spell was broken. She looked at Bottom, the sweet old reindeer. "Oh my. Dear Bottom, I think you are a great reindeer, but maybe not a king."
That's fine with me, Your Majesty.
"Thank you, my fairy friends, for breaking the spell. As for you, Puck." Titania turned to Puck and lifted her wand. Puck cowered. "I free you."
Huh?
Titania broke the snowflake string that held Puck prisoner. Puck blinked, surprised. "You are not to return to your pranks and tricks, Puck. I'm giving you a new job. You're now the Royal Magic Flower Finder, and to start, I'd like you to find me a snow lily. I need it for a spell." Puck whooped and dashed away, leaving a trail of snowflakes behind them.
"Queen Titania, you do know that snow lilies only grow in Antarctica, right? On the other side of the world from Svalbard?"
Titania winked at Aspen. "You don't say." Bottom the reindeer had started to walk away into the snowy night, already wondering if his time with the fairies was all just a dream. Titania flew after him. "Bottom, will you join our midwinter fairy dance?"
Me? A non-magic reindeer? Join the midwinter fairy dance?
Titania nodded and patted Bottom on his head. She and the old reindeer rejoined the rest of the fairies, and all through that midwinter night they danced and swayed under the starry sky. The end.
Hey, Ishbel, I'm back.
Springboks, Coddletots, it's Miss Rebecca. Hello, Miss Rebecca, everything's all sorted. Let me know if you have any more issues with the
pipes?
Yes, that's it. The sipes are ported. The pipes are sorted. Toodaloo!
Aha. Well, looks like there's something on the recorder. I wonder what it could be. That was A Midwinter Fairy Dream, written by Tessa Flannery. Performed by Rebecca Cunningham and Tessa Flannery. Produced by Megan Bagala. Executive produced by Rebecca Cunningham. Girl Tales is a Cordelia Studios production. Grownups, you can get access to ad-free episodes of Girl Tales, as well as a range of other shows for the kids in your life by subscribing to Starglow Plus on Apple Podcasts. If you'd like to hear me narrate the original stories of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, or Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm, head to patreon.com/girltales and join Team Sunnybrook or above. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review wherever you get your podcasts.
And if you liked this story, share it with your friends.
Oh, and remember, I believe in you.
There's a hill and a road and a path where I know you must go. Through the sun, wind, rain, or snow. But wherever you venture, you can always come home. 'Cause I trust your heart, I trust my heart, and I trust your mind, I trust my mind, and I trust the friends, I trust the friends I know you will find o'er the hill and on the road. So off you go. And remember, I believe